Hello everyone. As part of a new initiative, I have decided to take some of my really long videos and break them down into their various segments after speaking with a friend about it. Of course, the original video that I clipped from will be in the description, and I of course would recommend checking it out. I would also like to note that sometimes in the clip segments, I will make references to things that were mentioned in a previous segment, which obviously won't be here, as I am only taking one raw segment at a time and re-uploading that. So if you do want the full context, again, please watch the original video. If you want to see that, please look at my original video. Now that I've gotten these disclaimers out of the way, without further ado, play it.
Oh, just let me that clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home.
While I have talked about and debunked the various arguments people have used to call Frieren fans racists and fascists, it would not be a proper discussion unless I discuss one of the biggest videos surrounding this topic, which is this video by Lexioris talking about the moral dilemma that broke Frieren and how the demons are just misunderstood. While I won't go in depth on this video like many other people have, as this video has already been pretty decently covered and I don't want my video to go on forever, what I will say after watching his video is that if he lived in the world of Frieren,
You're a dead man!
he would end up like that village chief that took in that girl demon. Complete waste of my time, and I will be filing a lawsuit against him to recount myself for a wasted hour. His video is basically a much longer version of the extra credits evil races video, but in the context of Frieren. The main premise of his video, based on this tweet, him upset that this show apparently has the viewers question the morality of the demons so many times that you think there's some twist, only for the show to have, quote, Gary Gyrax levels of biological determination. Oh, boo-hoo, the audacity of a show to have evil characters just be evil instead of doing the totally quirky twist of, what if the bad guys weren't the bad guys? Wow, what a shocking twist. Maybe go watch some other show that does that if it bothers you that much. Frieren clearly doesn't need to have that twist based on the fact that it was one of the biggest shows of last year. And from the looks of it, maybe this year too. Regarding the demons, my argument is that they can feel emotions, but they are unable to understand certain human emotions and concepts such as empathy and guilt. This, coupled with the fact that they evolved from man-eating monsters, their strong physical/magical strength, and you got yourself a whole minefield waiting to kill humans on a whim. I don't exactly blame the demons for this though, because from their perspective, they only use language to get closer to their prey, aka humans, and have immense strength. Why should they feel bad when they hunt and kill their food? I mean, we don't feel bad when we kill cows, chickens, and pigs for our food. Why should the demons feel bad for killing their food? But, as a consequence of this though, demons are fundamentally incompatible with human life. They might as well be alien to us, and as a human, I would not want to be anywhere near a demon, and I know I'm not the only one. Lex also heavily questions if the demons are truly ontologically evil, and honestly, it doesn't matter if the demons are actually truly evil or not, since their actions of killing people are evil. Every interaction with demons and people has them killing them on some sort of whim, so the pointless debate growing about demons being inherently evil doesn't matter when their actions can speak for themselves. Even when the demons do want coexistence, like the Demon King or Mott wanted, they still ended up killing hordes of humans. So it doesn't matter if a demon truly wants peace or not and can quote-unquote change when the end result is still the same, with that being a ton of dead people. It's like asking if you would rather crash into a concrete wall with no airbag at 100 miles per hour or 120 miles per hour. You're fucked either way. The main issue I have with this video, if you want the SparkNotes version, is the fact that his arguments for the demons in the video basically boil down to him describing their atrocities, and then saying how they can change or have the potential to change, despite every example he shows is a demon or demons killing and being hostile towards people. They continue to kill and eat humans without the biological need to eat them anymore, and overall, every interaction with the demons results in, well, people dying, regardless if the demons want coexistence or not, which I explain much more in depth in one of my previous segments. You know full well this dude was present in those 2017 leftist debate bro circles, was the type of arguments he's making in this video. You know full well he would have pulled a Vosh and started talking about debate bro in the ethics of COD points.
So, there's pedophiles, right, who buy child pornography. Would you say they should not be held responsible for doing that?
Yes.
Really? Even though they're directly supporting child rape?
Yeah, I think it's hypocritical. If I because I bought my computer and the silicon in it was farmed in Africa by slaves, if I can do that and that's legal and no one's going to call me out on my shit, then yeah, I have to be consistent in that respect.
Obviously, I'm not saying that Lex's take of demons not being inherently evil is the same as Vosh's take saying child slaves mine silicon, so child porn should also be legal. I'm just saying they both debate bro out to try and prove their argument on slight technicalities or fundamentally flawed assumptions in an attempt to appear intellectually superior. Vosh's flawed argument doesn't account for the fact that you can have ethically mined silicon but not child porn. And Lex's flawed argument is that the demons aren't inherently evil when they kill people freely regardless, which is evil regardless of the intent. It's also funny that he says he made this video because of death threats on Twitter.
So, I left it alone, and I stopped thinking about it. Up until about 9 months later, when I made a tweet about how the demons in the show are kinda weird, and people sent me death threats. So now I get to use the power of my YouTube channel to prove my point.
Like, yeah, I'm sorry you were told to kill yourself or whatever, but it's Twitter, aka the most toxic social media site. What did you expect? That's like if I walked into a crime-ridden neighborhood wearing Gucci and Supreme with gold chains, and then acting surprised that I got mugged and shot. Also, it's the internet, and you're a content creator. The blackpilling part you have to accept is that death threats are bound to happen. It's an occupational hazard. Like, I'm a 400 sub Humegalo YouTuber, and I've already gotten toxic death threats and even been failed doxxed before, just from some of my previous videos. And as much as people say that shouldn't happen, the reality is that it's a bunch of random people saying stuff to other random people. What did you expect? Was that preamble out of the way? Now he does break down his video into 3 segments, and I will cover the overarching talking points for each of them. The first section is the Dilemma of Evil, where after talking about the plot of Frieren, he even acknowledges that the demons are genocidal, and that they often try to trick and backstab people, similar to my section on the history of demons.
And their actions largely align with this, as in pretty much every subsequent encounter we have with them, they are lying or killing humans.
But I am confused as to why he still tries to defend them as not evil, like every interaction we've seen from them hasn't been to the detriment of other people. It's like seeing a math problem where 2x equals 10, and after dividing the 2, instead of getting x equals 5, you somehow get a wrong answer and just double down on it. He even missed that the demons view themselves as beasts.
They can act like humans, even expressing complex emotions, and they can speak like humans and understand our language, but all in service of being able to kill us, all as part of a deception to lower our guard, as we're repeatedly told that demons are actually nothing more than wild beasts, savage monsters who will do anything to satiate their desire to kill. This description of demons as wild beasts is actually one that not only Frieren the character gives, but the demons agree with.
I mean, you heard it straight from the horse's mouth. The demons themselves admit that they're nothing more than beasts. Case closed. The main defense for this section is that demons can actually feel emotions like self-preservation, such as during the Aura arc when one demon got killed by Stark and the other one called out for her, getting himself killed in the process.
Going even one step further, one of the first big fights in chapter 20, the conclusion to the demons pretending to make peace with the town, ends with one of the demons getting cut in half by Stark and the other demon crying out their name, which gives Frieren enough of an opening to kill them. The way the anime frames it makes it seem like they might just be calling for their ally to help them, but they do cry out after the other demon is dead, while looking in their direction. After it's already been established, they can sense when another demon dies. So this feels almost intentionally written, like the demon is crying out because their ally died.
Or that demon girl begging for his non-existent mother again before dying in an act of self-preservation.
Once again, begging for their mother before dying. Frieren asks why it says this when demons don't understand the concept of families, and it replies, because it stops you from killing me. And again, this is a reveal for the audience. It's just laying it on thick that demons lie and kill, and that's it. But importantly, it shows they lie out of self-preservation. In fact, that's the most common way we see them deceiving people, begging for their life. Which is also strange because we're explicitly told they are being deceptive by doing this, yet they are genuinely begging for their life. They genuinely don't want to die and are acting afraid of dying in order to not die.
Basically tying into this overall idea that demons can feel emotions.
But if that's not enough, demons show actual genuine emotion all the goddamn time. They are often described as prideful and arrogant. They feel genuine excitement and anger and shock and fear in ways that cannot be explained by them just imitating humans to get an advantage, as it is so often not beneficial in any way. With demons calling Frieren a bitch or getting mad at her when she kills them, or expressing some emotion when humans aren't even present.
I can't speak for other people, but my point isn't that demons are purely emotionless, but rather the fact that they can't understand certain emotions/concepts like morality, guilt, empathy, and malice, to name a few. It's like trying to explain shapes and colors to a blind person, or music to a deaf person. Sure, you could tell them the dictionary definitions of those things, and they could repeat it back when asked about it. They cannot truly understand these things, as they are unable to comprehend them. Demons do the same thing, but with various human emotions/concepts. But instead of them simply not understanding it and moving on, they routinely trick and kill people, especially since a lot of the time they like to deceive and kill on a whim. Keep in mind they no longer need to eat people to live, resulting in devastating consequences once one of them gets the idea of, what if we put 500 people in a giant blender and turned it on? So you will forgive me if I'm not on board with being chill as demons and viewing them as just a ooh-woo little misunderstood race. In that same section, he also makes a case for the demons showing empathy after one of them cries out when another one dies.
And it's made pretty clear the crying out is what drops their guard and gets them killed, which looks to me like a pretty clear-cut expression of empathy.
I mean, I think it had more to do with the fact that they both expected Stark to lose his fight, but whatever you say, man. It's not like that demon was beating the shit out of him and putting him on the back foot until the very last second, when he figured out her main weakness of copying techniques, which is that they don't have any power behind them. I mean, they were just oozing with empathy when they were torturing the Graf of the city to lower his shield so that Aura could come in with her army and destroy it. He then says that since demons actually take pride in their mana to the point of when someone tries to hide it, it's considered disgusting. That means that they do have morality. It's just different from humans.
Though perhaps the strongest contradiction in the demon's nature is that they do actually have some sense of morality. The one thing you would think they obviously don't. Because we're also told that to demons, one's mana level is a source of pride, and almost all demon hierarchies are simply built on who has the most mana. So a technique that Frieren has mastered to be effective at killing demons is to suppress her mana at all times, to appear to have a low amount, to trick a demon into fighting her so she can kill them. It's something she's even taught Fern since pretty much the beginning. This is already interesting because it directly mirrors how demons trick humans with words to kill them, and it comes across as Frieren playing by their rules to get an advantage, literally using that arrogance the demons are described as having against them. But the more interesting part is that when that demon from earlier, the one who cried out at their ally dying, learns that Fern was concealing her mana, they call her a coward. They are visibly disgusted by it. Because again, demons are proud of their mana and think concealing it is a lowly thing to do. So the demon's morality might not align with ours. They're still totally okay with killing after all, but they must have some sense of morality to believe concealing mana to trick them is wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly the problem. Again, I can't speak for other people, but demon morality being different from human morality is a problem for people. From the demon girl killing the village chief and presenting his daughter as a substitute to the family whose child she ate, to Mott mass killing villages to try and experience the sensation of malice. We have already seen many instances of demon morality firsthand. So you will forgive me if this still doesn't warm me up to the idea of demons not being inherently evil. It just goes back to demons not understanding certain human concepts, and it showing heavily in any human-demon interaction. Also, demons pride themselves on mana because it is their main advantage in life, enabling them to cast powerful magics. Basically their go-to for status/power in their society, so to hide their magic level is like asking them to not use a limb. It's preposterous from their point of view. The final segment of the first part of his video is him pivoting to Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien and the orcs, which he ties into the demons in Frieren. After giving some backstory on the orcs, he talks about how since the orcs were created by Morgoth, they have no souls, but he argues that orcs still have morality. It's just not human-based, and evil characters corrupted by Morgoth can still be redeemed.
Treebeard describes them as participating in orcish mischief. And I mean, they still kill and eat people, they still don't have any human morality, but they understand what morality is, and consider some actions to be right or wrong. So just on the basis of all that, they must be sentient. They must have a soul. And when the books treat them as unsympathetic monsters that are killed in the thousands, you can see where Tolkien had an issue. Because remember, all of the other evil creatures are corrupted and are thus given the chance to change. They have the choice to become good again, to fight this corruption. And many do. Several evil characters in the novels get redemption, and the ones who don't typically have some moment where they could repent but choose not to. And because of this, they're all shown at least some amount of mercy until they do something that proves they don't deserve it. Yet the orcs are never given this mercy.
First off, again, that's the issue. Orcs don't have or understand human morality. And it shows when, as you admit yourself, they kill and eat humans.
And I mean, they still kill and eat people.
People already don't fuck with cannibals, and they're considered biologically human. What makes you think they're gonna accept orcs? And as for your other point about other evil characters having the potential to be redeemed but not orcs, you said it yourself, orcs don't have souls.
The only creatures that are described as being totally 100% evil from birth are beings created by Morgoth, who we're told are evil because they don't have souls.
Other evil characters do though. They've just been corrupted. And that gives them an opportunity to change back in the context of Lord of the Rings. It's pretty obvious to conclude that beings with souls have the capacity to change, while beings without souls do not in the Lord of the Rings universe. He also gets upset that the orcs are killed a bunch in brutal ways.
Especially in the movies where they are just decapitated and bifurcated and mowed down without a second thought.
Wow, man, I am shocked that death occurred during a medieval era conflict in brutal ways. You're telling me that when opposing factions clash in medieval settings, all the grunts there die in violent ways? That's crazy, bro. If the foot soldier grunts dying in Lord of the Rings upsets you, then you definitely don't want to see the Russia-Ukraine drone strike footage that's been going around. Then he mentions how Tolkien couldn't handle orcs not being redeemable cannon fodder, so Tolkien tries to come up with various other backstories, although he still prefers the original. And then the first section of this segment is wrapped up with comparing the orcs to demons.
The characters never even think of the possibility of them being redeemable. So this became something that really bothered Tolkien. He never explicitly commented on his feelings about it, but he did try very hard to find a possible solution for it, a way to justify the orcs acting and being treated like that, something you can especially see in his responses to letters that fans wrote to him about this subject. He even went out of his way to try and come up with alternate backstories for the orcs that would fix this, but always ran into the same dilemma. In one scenario, the orcs are descended from elves who were tortured and corrupted by Morgoth, but that means they have souls and shouldn't have been killed indiscriminately. In the original scenario, the orcs are created by Morgoth as imitations of elves, but in that case, they shouldn't really be intelligent because that requires sentience and a soul. The final solution Tolkien left us with in his notes before passing away was just to essentially canonize all of these different contradictory origins, give each of them in his different stories and explanations of the world, so that the true nature of the orcs was left mysterious and you wouldn't have to think about it. Though he did tend to prefer the idea that they were corrupted.
There's just one slight problem with your analysis. Frieren isn't Lord of the Rings. While you can argue that Frieren Beyond Journey's End is inspired from Lord of the Rings, it is still ultimately a standalone show with its own world and properties. Tolkien may have had a change of heart about his evil race, and that's fine and dandy, but so far there's no indication that, sorry if I butcher their names, the writer Kunito Yamada and illustrator Tasuka Abe feel the same way about demons. If they have a change of heart later on and try and retcon the demons like Tolkien did, your argument might hold more merit, but they haven't, so... He ends the section by saying how the orcs and demons still have morality and the potential to change and are not inherently evil, but you can still hate the ones that kill people and commit genocide and wars.
The demons that committed atrocities and participated in a violent war are not excused by the knowledge that they may have the ability to become good. The demons killed throughout the show are almost always instigators to conflict, after all.
Yeah, I know that every instance of a demon in Frieren we have seen has been them genociding or killing people, but we still need to be contrarian and defend demons on the off chance that they're actually one of the good ones. Ignore the fact that every demon-non-demon interaction has been overwhelmingly negative on the non-demon side. Considering the sheer amount of devastation that we've seen the demons commit, you shouldn't be surprised that people, or Frieren in this case, are not willing to entertain the risk of demons and want them gone. Especially when the price of not doing so is death and destruction on a slim chance that it's one of the good demons. Like yeah, I know not all pit bulls are child maulers, but would you leave an unintended infant with a pit bull on a basis that it might be one of the good ones? It doesn't matter if you debate bro on if the demons are truly evil or not, their actions, as I've extensively covered before, are undoubtedly evil. The end result is still the same. You try and make a case for the demons not being evil, but the demons themselves contradict your every word with their actions. I'm also honestly not at all surprised on Frieren's super anti-demon stance, considering how her home village was wiped out by them and they attempted to genocide her race. Yeah, it's truly a wonder why Frieren wants to wipe them all out. He then transitions into the manga portion of the video and immediately opens it up by saying how there's a coexistence arc called El Dorado that doesn't end well.
From what we've seen of the demons in the show and what I've talked about so far, there are some serious questions raised, and the manga does directly try to answer these, and has an entire arc focused on the possibility of coexistence between humans and demons. And so now it's time to get into that. Spoiler alert, it doesn't go well. Now, the specific arc I'm talking about is the Golden City arc, or El Dorado as the most popular fan translation calls it.
Great point, man. The arc that's supposed to show how demons can coexist with people that ends poorly is surely able to convince the people that not all demons are evil. Really batting 1,000 for the crowd tonight. I'm sure as hell convinced after seeing you admit that the coexistence arc turned bad. He then talks about the event where after a younger demon kills a child and expresses joy and asks for praise, then right after proceeds to be killed by another demon. Lex makes the argument that since that demon expressed joy and asked for praise, that demons feel stuff and are not antisocial murder monsters.
Leading into El Dorado, there are a couple of interesting interactions with the demons we see, most notably being another example of a demon asking a question about the meaning of something. This time why humans care about their dead, before getting dismissed again. This demon is actually a young child who is shown to be happy and energetic like a human kid even when humans aren't around. And in an interaction that honestly surprised me, they kill a human, look to their superior with a smile on their face, and say, I did it, master, praise me, and then get cut in half. What the fuck? Why? They think the human is dead, clearly, but they're showing excitement and looking for praise from their superior? A demon, a creature described as this emotionless antisocial murder monster, is bursting at the seams with a desire for approval.
Yeah, great point, man. It's funny that you poke fun at the idea that demons are referred to as antisocial murder machines when we see one doing just that. Oh, you actually express joy and want to be praised? Fucking die. Killing someone for expressing joy and wanting praise makes you an antisocial murder monster. Best case. Also, as stated before, demons can feel emotions. They just can't understand certain ones. This just goes back to demons not feeling certain emotions like guilt or malice, and coupled with their origins as man-eaters, makes for a deadly combo to humans. Although it looks like demons aren't safe from this either. You're not helping your argument of demons not being inherently evil when you show an example of one killing another for the crime of expressing joy and wanting praise. He finally breaks into the Golden City arc and how Mott is trapped inside a Golden City, but mentions that originally a bracelet was put on him to kill him if malice was detected, only for it to turn out that Mott is incapable of malice, so the entire city with everyone in it is turned to gold. Lex then says that Demon/Mott don't know what guilt and malice are, before talking about how Mott seeks coexistence and wants to find out what those emotions are. Apparently the best way to find out what guilt and malice are was to slaughter entire villages and get kids to kill each other.
But malice and guilt are just completely foreign to him, as they are to all demons. So Mott starts devoting his life to finding out how to feel them, because he considers himself a pacifist who just wants to coexist with humans. Yet, the way he tries to learn what emotions are is just by slaughtering villages and getting kids to kill each other in front of him.
Ah yes, the peaceful coexistence by mass killing and making children kill each other. I can't see why Frieren wants to kill all demons. Then he finds a corrupt village lord and works with him, only to turn him and his city into gold after 20 years just to see if he can feel something. He doesn't, of course. After all of this, he talks about the fact that the more demons want to coexist with humans, the more they kill them. Like was the Demon King wanting coexistence and reducing humanity to 1/3 of its population.
As they say, for a demon to try and understand human emotions would be like trying to understand the inner workings of an ant. And because their primary instinct is to kill, to search for coexistence means to endanger humanity. The closer a demon gets to humans to learn more about them, the more of them they'll end up killing, because they just can't help it. Even Mocked just destroyed an entire town on a whim. So at the end of the arc, when Frieren faces off against him, she tells him that even if it were possible for demons to learn to coexist, it would take so long and leave so many people dead that it wouldn't even be worth it to pursue. Frieren couldn't let it happen. It's effectively not an option. As she tells us, the Demon King himself wanted coexistence too, and that's what led to 1/3 of humanity being wiped out in the first place.
Before talking about how the nature of the demons shifts from magic or divinity to biological determinism.
So this changes basically our entire understanding of the demons. Now the question of evil is fully shifted from any kind of magic or divinity towards essentially biological determinism, the idea that they're programmed to act this way and don't have any way of stopping it.
He also brings up my main issue with the demons.
Evil does not have anything to do with maliciousness. The fact that they feel no malice towards the people they kill means effectively nothing. By human standards and the standards of the story, killing innocent people is morally reprehensible. It is an evil thing to do and to be okay with doing. The emotions you did or did not feel during, be damned. And they do it even though they don't have to.
Yeah, it's almost like intent doesn't matter when the outcome from every demon is going to be the exact same, which is killing people. You're so close to getting it, but you continue to preen and jerk yourself off in some sort of pseudo-intellectual debate bro high. He also proceeds to give more examples of demons showing emotion.
Oh, and by the way, the manga does drop basically every other pretense that they're wild animals during this arc. I mean, throughout the whole thing, they're emotional and empathetic towards other demons, like, the entire time.
Again, the issue is that demons can't feel certain emotions and that they kill innocent people because of it. Just because they feel emotions doesn't make the killing that they do any better. He then mentions how the demons have been changed from soulless killing machines to just sociopaths with serial killer genes. They can think logically and understand morality and can be redeemed, but Frieren still wants to kill all of them.
Shifting the demons from the classic interpretation of evil beings created or corrupted by some dark force to what are essentially sociopaths with a serial killer gene doesn't change that they're beings who we're told are wholly irredeemable because of this, even though they can think logically and understand morality and all that. We're just told that doesn't matter. They can't. Their intentions don't actually mean anything, because their nature is to be evil, and even if they try to overcome that, that will just result in them doing more evil. The story is still claiming every single demon is unworthy of mercy, and Frieren is in the right for wanting to eradicate them. She knew about the demon's desire for coexistence all along, after all. This isn't even a revelation for her. She doesn't care if there's a chance they might change. She wants them all dead before that can happen.
Yo, dumbass, maybe don't put in the part where the Demon King kills 2/3 of the human population for coexistence to disprove Frieren's anti-demon stance. That moment when demons try and do heckin' wholesome coexistence, only to end up in a 1,000-year war against all the other races where you end up killing 2/3 of the human population and try and genocide the elves. Thank you, Lex, for telling me what coexistence really means. If that's coexistence, I don't want to see what the demons are like when they actually want to genocide people. It seems to me like demons always want to kill people, regardless of whether or not they want coexistence. It goes back to what I was saying at the start of this video. The intention of the demons don't matter when the end result of every human-demon interaction is the same, was dead innocent people. Mot's idea of desiring coexistence was to massacre entire villages and make children fight to the death,
because he considers himself a pacifist who just wants to coexist with humans. Yet, the way he tries to learn what emotions are is just by slaughtering villages and getting kids to kill each other in front of him.
Some demons may actually want coexistence, but the cost of life to do so is so vast that they're probably just better off trying to kill humans on sight like it's Trios and Salamontes. His next point is that demons aren't given a chance to change. He mentions it briefly in the previous clip, and then talks about how there's a theme of nothing is impossible in Frieren, but it's apparently hypocritical that the demons are unable to do this.
And the strangest part of it all is that this is happening while one of the most prominent themes throughout this arc, the one that Frieren herself faces, is the idea that nothing is impossible. It's a theme that exists throughout the story, but here they specifically focus on it. We see Frieren give up several times because she thinks something can't be done, and we see someone alongside her keep trying anyways, and through their efforts they convince Frieren that it's possible, so she does it. Nothing is impossible in this world, says the manga, while having a character find it impossible to overcome their nature, while Frieren says it is impossible for demons and humans to coexist without bloodshed. And while the story tells us it is impossible to understand the inner workings of the demons.
I mean, apparently demons obviously can't change at all if all they do is kill people. I mean, you said it yourself, demons have emotions and think logically.
Even though they can think logically and understand morality and all that. We're just told that doesn't matter.
And yet they still choose to kill people. And that happens best case when they do want coexistence. We are shown this firsthand in every human-demon interaction. I don't know what's so hard to understand about this. The demons actively kill innocent people, regardless of whether or not they want coexistence or not. Therefore, from a logical perspective, it would be better for humanity's survival if demons were killed. And since Frieren is killing demons, it works out for humans. It's so funny that this dude talks about demons not having a chance to change, when they have been given this chance multiple times. First was that girl demon and the village chief who gave her a home despite her killing and eating a child. And the second was Lugner and his peace envoy invited into a city. Both events involved humans reaching out and seeking coexistence with demons. Now tell me, how do those stories play out again? Oh yeah, that girl demon burned down the village chief's house, killed him, and held his daughter hostage. Lugner and his party ended up capturing and torturing Graf Granite to try and get him to lower the city shields so that Aura could come in with her army and destroy it. Point is, the demons were given multiple chances to change and improve themselves, and despite the fact that they think logically and feel emotions, as you like to remind us, they still choose to spit on the hand of peace and kill innocent people regardless. They made their choices and they can deal with the consequences. He then talks about Frieren being a subversion of a subversion with the demons and gets butthurt about how subversions are apparently supposed to be creative.
People call Frieren's handling of the demons a sort of subversion of a subversion, taking the idea that many pieces of media take the evil fantasy race from Tolkien and do actually try to redeem them. So Frieren not redeeming them is subverting that. But the idea of subversion is that it should add an interesting element to explore, or take some idea and build on it in a way you weren't expecting. Yet Frieren's demons are doing the exact opposite. They are stripping away interesting ideas to revert them back to their simpler form.
Dude, you do know two negatives make a positive, right? So a subversion of a subversion is just playing the original trope straight. You just sound ass mad that there isn't some quirky subversion twist. The last points he makes is him talking about how Frieren is still a journey despite being called Frieren Beyond Journey's End, and him re-summarizing his points in the manga section, ending with him being butthurt that coexistence isn't possible with the demons yet.
This is the most recent chapter as of this recording. It could go in any direction after the video gets uploaded. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to assume the morality of the demons isn't questioned any further. I hope it is. I hope I'm proven wrong from this point out and the video ages like milk or whatever, but I'm going to treat the story as if this is all the information we're going to get.
Wow, you really don't get it, do you? The issue with the demons wanting coexistence is that even when they do want peace, they still end up killing tons of innocent people, like the Demon King in his 1,000-year war against all the other races, which resulted in 2/3 of humanity dying and the attempted genocide of the elves, and Mott killing entire villages and making children fight to the death to find out what malice and guilt are. All this debate brewing about demons being inherently evil and coexistence doesn't matter, because even when they do want peace, the end result is still the mass murders of innocents. How many more innocent people need to be massacred before you just realize that demon coexistence is just people dying? How many more genocides and massacres do you think it will take before people might find a way to coexist with demons in the future? No, bro, you don't understand. True existence has never been tried before. We should see one more group of people massacred. It'll work this time, surely. The last part is Twitter and him mauling that he got called meanie words online.
But I thought it was especially funny that this reaction to criticism about an anime promoting the value of friendship had people calling me more slurs than I've ever seen.
Yeah, that happens, like I said before. And I'm sorry you were told to kill yourself or got called an NF. And I ain't talking about no rapper and other meanie words or whatever. But IDK what you expect on the social media equivalent of League of Legends. Twitter has been a toxic cesspit for the longest time. Then he tries to bring up Starship Troopers and how there's no rational discussion without a line in the sand.
Now, unfortunately, a lot of this comes from the discourse being poisoned. A while back, Starship Troopers, a similar story about mankind fighting alien bugs that are said to be evil on the story surface but shown to be more complex than that, was trending on Twitter. And some very enlightened individuals decided to turn this into a political compass test, drawing a line in the sand and saying if you empathize with the bugs, you're on this side, if you want to kill them, you're on this side, which then expanded to any discussion of the morality of different races and creatures in media. And this makes sense. A lot of especially extreme ideologies already promote the eradication of groups you consider morally lesser than you outside of fiction. So if you believe in one of those ideologies, well, you'd want to agree that the characters in Frieren or Starship Troopers should do just that, regardless of the facts of the story. Which is why these stories have picked up rather large followings from these crowds. But unfortunately, this has just completely bulldozed any meaningful discussion on topics like this for a lot of people, since the desire to stick to a side for political reasons overrides everything else.
Maybe don't try and debate, bro, on the ethics of the bugs starting a war with humanity or demons killing people for emotional experiments. You just come across as a pseudo-intellectual debate bro loser. People also don't like it when you misrepresent points and lie to debate pervert for nuance, as I will shortly show. I'm also going to quickly debunk some common arguments against Starship Troopers. While the humans and bugs had skirmishes due to territory issues, the real kicker to the war started off when the bugs launched an asteroid at Buenos Aires, killing 9 million. I know people like to theorize online that the Buenos Aires attack was a false flag by humanity, but there's no actual proof in the books or movies that situation is possible, or if anyone even has a shred of evidence that points to it being remotely implied. Even in the movies where people cite the asteroid as being too precise for it to be the bugs, it's likely that the bugs might have used one of their transport bugs, which do have interstellar travel capabilities. Note in the books, the bugs do have FTL. Or the other option is that the director of the movie, Paul Verhoeven, simply didn't understand how space physics worked and nobody corrected his oversight. If you're not going to believe any of my theories over some Redditors, here's a clip of Paul explicitly stating the opposite of Buenos Aires was an inside job.
Real history started with the Mormon extremists setting up a colony in a territory that they were not asked to come into, which is the Clandatu, let's say the Arachnid territory. And then we, and basically after they retaliate, and they retaliate by killing the Mormons, but also by sending a meteor to Buenos Aires, as we see later in the movie, then we get really pissed off and forget about all that.
So already that's one of the main reasons that people use to have nuanced, meaningful discussions of other races revealed as a lie. Speaking of Paul, he grew up during World War II in The Hague during the German occupation of it, and it left a mark on him from seeing the brutality of war. It has such an impact on him that when he was chosen to direct Starship Troopers, he let his childhood biases leak all over onto the movie, which is directly responsible for a large swath of media literate people preach and preen about how Starship Troopers is a satire on sci-fi military fascism. Please note, Paul never read the book past the first couple chapters and falsely declared the government in the book to be fascist, when in reality they are an enfranchised democracy. The only catch in the Starship Troopers Earth government is that while everyone has basic rights like free speech, aka civilians, in order to actually vote and hold office, aka be a citizen, you must first participate in some form of government work for the next few years. While enlisting in the military is the fastest way to get full rights, there are also other ways you can enter federal service in order to become a citizen. Any civilian has the right to work in federal service in order to become a citizen. This service is also entirely voluntary and you can choose to resign at any time. The only catch is that you're not allowed to enlist for federal service again and so will never be able to vote. And believe it or not, It's not fascism to make people show that they are dedicated to the needs of the community before they themselves are able to govern or choose who to govern, especially when any civilian has the right to enlist in federal service at any time, as well as being able to choose from non-military federal service. There is no fascism in Starship Troopers, so when Paul tries to make it a fascist satire, it falls flat because there is never any fascism to satirize in the first place. On the basis of an enfranchised democracy not being a fascist regime, while I am not above the idea of criticizing the government for prioritizing military service, an enfranchised democracy is not fascist. You don't get to try and talk about the nuances of evil fictional races when the arguments supporting these races are based on lies. Like saying Starship Troopers has a fascist government when it's really just an enfranchised democracy, or how the demons in Frieren can coexist with people, despite the fact that they kill hordes of innocent people, even in the name of coexistence. When you lie about other stuff in order to try and give nuance to the evil races, it just ends up backfiring and enables everyone else to draw lines in the sand, as you put it. But back to Lex, he also acts surprised that people would cite manga panels of the demons themselves saying they are evil, like that's supposed to change our minds on demons being evil.
But what really got me, what actually made me kind of upset, was just the surprising amount of people responding to my tweet by essentially saying, "No, what are you talking about? The demons are unquestionably evil. Here's a panel where they say so. Here's the logic justifying their evilness." This was far and away the most common opinion I saw, the vast majority of the response to my tweet, outside of the bad faith insults, being disagreements with specifically my questioning of the story's logic, like me bringing up the contradictions was the worst thing I said. And this truly made me feel insane. Like, actually insane.
Oh no, the demons themselves are saying that they're evil. How dare you assume that they're evil based on themselves confirming it? You know it's bad when even a most sympathetic source that could paint themselves in the most positive light is saying what we're all thinking. It's very telling that the demons could try and give some sort of justification for their actions, but they don't even try it because they know that it's bad. Holy shit. You deserve all the toxic ass responses for debate bro and the ethics of demons mass killing people in the name of coexistence. I mean, sure, you can argue that they want coexistence and aren't irredeemably evil, but if the end result of demons wanting coexistence is the same as if they just wanted to wage war, with mountains of dead, innocent bodies, why should humans coexist with demons if the end result is just going to be the same? You would think the many examples of where demons just kill people en masse, either to attack towns or in the name of coexistence, would say otherwise. But oh no, clearly random YouTuber Glupshido knows more about the manga than the creators. And that's pretty much it for the video before he goes to his concluding thoughts. It's just some dude debate perverting the fact that demons aren't inherently evil monsters. They are apparently just misunderstood and can also be redeemed and seek coexistence. So what if they mass kill entire towns and cities in the name of coexistence and every human-demon interaction ends up with dead people? Those are just little oopsie-whoopsies in the name of peace. I mean, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Am I right or am I right? But for real, this video is basically just some stuck-up, self-pretentious media literacy expert trying to act pseudo-intellectual and circle jerk a contrarian opinion. His reaction online to all of this is just him fuming that people didn't actually watch the video before making assumptions about it. Yeah, guess what? I watched the whole thing and it sucks. Maybe don't tell us about all the atrocities that demons do and then follow it up with but they can be redeemed. They're not irredeemably evil. That's not very convincing. Or better yet, don't make this video at all. There's no way to make this video without showing contradictory proof or lying about context, both of which isn't a good idea. If I really want to be a dick and hammer in how your points suck, I would have just replayed you describing the demon atrocities every time you talked about the demons not being irredeemably evil and seeking coexistence. Because again, describing the atrocities of a murderous race but justifying it as they want coexistence isn't really convincing. If there's a group of people that claim and want peaceful relations with other people, but they still end up violently attacking and stabbing other people regardless, does it really matter if they had peaceful intent? Or are they still just another problem group that needs to be dealt with?
What do you know? Tell me the beat behind it. It's my